I'm Shelley and this is Naz. I wanted to tell you today, guys, about fostering. Many of you might have already started to foster or you're thinking about fostering. I just wanted to tell you basically how I started off. 5 years ago now, I moved to Turkey from England, and there was many street dogs, street cats, kittens. It was unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'd never experienced anything like it before. I remember waking up one morning, I saw 5 newborn kittens, all in a little cardboard box. I think one of the mums obviously had started to build her trust, because I was feeding about 10 stray kittens and cats and whatnot, tortoises as well. She decided to give birth, and the one that I thought that was the youngest was the one who actually gave birth. She was probably about 6 months old, and I must admit I was a bit clueless back then, and I thought, well, she's a bit small. Is she really the mum? Did she have these babies, or is she looking after them? I found out that, you know, kittens as young as 4 months to 5 months can actually get pregnant, have babies, have a litter. So they don't actually know what they're doing when they have their first litter, but they do actually start to pick it up and understand. Some young mums do leave their litter, and this is how they become abandoned. Or they panic and they take them away and they put them somewhere where they think they're going to be safe. It's not necessarily always the case. This is what happened with these. I started to look after the mum and the babies, and I let her do her thing, and I didn't interfere. A few weeks later, we had a heavy rainfall. It was so bad that there was like gushes of water coming down the hill, because we lived on a hill at the time, and the water was just coming down rapidly. At this point, the mum had moved her kittens somewhere, but I wasn't actually sure where she'd put them. I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. So when I started to look for them, I was looking all around, and I was looking in the garden, and I actually found them in the drain, in one of the drains. They were absolutely soaking wet. They were drowned from head to toe. I got them in, I warmed them up. Eyes were closed, but that wasn't because of their age, it was because of the mum hadn't learned how to clean the eyes properly. So I cleaned the eyes up, warmed them up, and then got them back in a box, put them back on the balcony and let them cry so that mum could see that they were there. She eventually came back, then she started to carry on looking after them. She was doing a really good job, because they actually got up to about 8 weeks old and they started running around, causing havoc, climbing up your legs, doing all these crazy little things, running around your feet. And so I was starting to learn about, you know, kittens, and obviously they're so adorable. I couldn't stop looking at them every day and every night, and I was, you know, trying to get some physical contact with them so that they would come closer to me. So she became more friendly, and she started to let us touch the babies, handle them more, play with her. We could just about, you know, stroke her, and that would be enough. So they grew up, obviously, and they became part of the rest of the crowd in the garden, the rest of the strays. We managed to get a couple of them homes. We managed to get all of them neutered. So I got in touch with the local animal charity and asked them if there was anything that I could do to help, or if there was anything I could do, basically. I couldn't actually foster any animals at that point. We wasn't in a stable home, and we was just about to move. So a couple of months went by, and I took on my first kitten, and she was about 3 weeks old, a little ginger kitten, and I had to bottle feed. I'd never bottle fed before, didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was just asked if I could take this little kitten for a week, just until they get back from holiday. And they showed me what to do, how to make the milk, how to warm everything up. So I did that, and everything went well, thankfully. I managed to feed the kitten. It was happy, content, and showing its character, playing, you know, doing all the little things they do through their stages. That went well. Found a home for the kitten after, when it got a bit older and it started solid food. So I started being a foster mummy to baby kittens that was abandoned, and I started to bottle feed 2 to 3 hours during the night. So it was like having a newborn baby again, which I didn't mind because this time round I was used to it. I didn't really sleep very well anyway, so getting up in the middle of the night to make milk, absolutely no problem at all. Although when you have more than one, it can be pretty hard. I had 4 at one time, 4 baby kittens, about a week old, crying through the night. So when you've only got 2 hands, 1 bottle and 4 kittens, you can imagine the screams that were coming from their mouths. You know, it was all night. So I'd feed one, put the other one down, he'd start wriggling around somewhere, looking for his brothers and sisters. Then I'd feed the other one and he'd start wriggling around, and I'd try to have to grab him and grab her and put her back. It was a nightmare. In the end, I never even went to bed. I just put them back in their little box with their hot water bottle and slept next to them, because in another hour, the time that I'd got round to feeding all 4 of them, whilst crawling around on the floor, it was time to feed them again. Make the bottle, so wait for it to cool down, and so on. So a couple of years went by. I started to do a lot of research on kittens, cats, street dogs, just to see what there was all about, you know, and research the area that I live in. I decided to take in younger kittens that were a bit older, that didn't need bottle feeding, and they were either sick or they were just too small to be on the street. You know, sometimes the weather was cold, you know, so I'd take them in. I then built myself a little KDF on my 2nd floor, which was basically a whole cat area for kittens. I wanted to bring kittens in. I wanted them to grow up together, learn the skills, eat good food, and eventually we could release them back out into the wild, as long as they wasn't with us for too long. In my case, I find them homes. I never can let them go. I can never just look after them for a few months and then put them back on the street, because I've bonded with them. You know, I love them as my little babies. I want them to have the best life as they get older. And thankfully, I do find them all homes. I get them all good homes. We do home checks, and it's nice to watch them grow up and see how they progress from what they started off from, like if they were sick or they were really small, you know. And looking at them now, it's a lovely thing to do. Someone's tired. I also foster puppies, as we have here. This is Nars. She is a Jack Russell. Well, we think she's a Jack Russell. She's the size of a Jack Russell at the minute. She's still a puppy. She's only 3 months, no, yeah, 3 months old. She's 3 months old. I keep looking at her because I keep thinking she's older than what she is. She's very smart. We have a shelter here. It's not the greatest shelter, I must admit, but no shelter isn't perfect. Unfortunately, that's just a place for them to go if they have to go, and there's no one like me to take them on. I found her up the shelter on a little cushion, and I was going up to actually find some cats, some kittens, or something that might need to be taken home. And there wasn't actually any kittens around at that time. So I found Nars and I brought her home instead. So Nars has got a home, but in the meantime, we have been doing puppy training, and we will be doing lots of videos on puppy training because I have qualifications in puppy training and animal behaviour and feline behaviour also. So it's not just dogs, puppies, it's kittens, puppies, cats, any kind of problem. We're gonna discuss it through video, so you can see all the free videos and get as much advice as you want from them. So basically, this was the intro to me. I am the woman behind Bottle Fed Babies Sokak on Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram. The link is above here. You can also leave any comments below if you have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like me to talk about over the next few weeks. Please just leave a comment and I'll be happy to discuss it with you. If you can, subscribe to my channel. It would be nice to be talking to some people who would like to know more. So that's about it from me today. It was just a little bit about me. So I'm gonna head off now and I will see you guys all next week. So, and Nars will be in her new home by then. So I'm glad you all got to meet little Nars. She's a good girl. Right, everyone say goodbye to Nars. Say goodbye, Nars. Nars, who's that? Who is it? Who's that, Nars? She's not impressed at all. She's really not impressed at all. I'm not sure if she can actually see herself, although she's probably going to fall asleep because she's a puppy. She's all tired. Can have a kiss, Nars. Anyway guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching us today, and we will see you next week. Bye.